required to move from plane 1 to plane 2, and which abnormalities should be excluded after correct assessment of the plane 1, 2, and 3. So fetal fetal
You're
lie
not
and
audible.
anatomy. Yeah, audible. Fetal lie and anatomy. So the longitudinal section basically it is sagittal and coronal planes. And the sagittal and coronal planes, the first thing we'll like to know the fetal heartbeat. So once we show the fetal heartbeat to the mother, she gains a confidence. Yes, the child is the fetus inside her womb is alive, so he gains confidence. Then we look at the fetal head. Then we go to the spine and the thoracointestinal anatomy and the situs of the fetus. So we'll go to the first overview of the longitudinal scan. As we normally do the scan from the suprapubic region. So what in a longitudinal lie, first we look at the fetal heart. And we get a fetal heart. Once we see the fetal heart, we are confident the fetus is alive, and we say that, and we show it to the mother. The mother gets confidence that the fetus is alive. And then we look at the fetal head, and we can see a full normal calvaria. My pointer is visible, ma'am?
Yes.
We see the normal fetal skull and brain parenchyma. But then here the fetus shows the normal fetal skull. The skull is well formed with good calcification. But sometimes in this longitudinal view, when we take a section, longitudinal section, when we come to the craniovertebral junction, we are not able to see the normal fetal skull here. Instead, we only see there is a little bit of soft tissue matter over here. And that is what we say is an early first trimester, when we don't see the calvaria, we say it's a acrania. But as the fetus grows to bigger size, larger size to the second trimester, gradually the fetal parenchyma is exposed to the amniotic fluid, and the amniotic fluid eats of the brain parenchyma, and then we say it is a acrania anencephaly complex. So once we see this in the longitudinal lie, we don't stop there. We have to go to the other other planes to confirm it. And here is a fetus where we don't see the fetal calvaria. Instead, we see the brain parenchyma, little bit of brain parenchyma here, and we can very easily, nicely see the fetal eye and the lens. Then we go to the next. So change our transducer plane to a transverse plane or a longitudinal plane to confirm the findings. And then we see this lethal anatomy. It went for a MTP, and that was the outcome of the fetal calvaria over here, and the whole brain parenchyma was eaten up, and that was the acrania anencephaly complex. And then in this sagittal section, here in this picture, I have taken this picture from the net. And in this section, we see that the fetal calvaria is flattened over here. And there is a breach here at the neck of the fetus, and the whole parenchyma, brain parenchyma, has herniated outside, forming a mass-like structure, and that is the encephalocele. And that we have to confirm it from a transverse plane, and we can see the breach here, and that is the encephalocele. And that was the fetal, that fetus was aborted. And here we can see that is the whole uh, uh, calvary is flattened and the brain parenchyma has moved out. Sometimes we get a very small breach over here. There is every possibility that we can miss. So we have to be very cautious about this. And here there is a small encephalocele which is protruding out. And in this picture, this is the profile picture of a fetus, and there is a breach in the frontal aspect. That's the frontal bone, and there is a breach over here, and that is a frontal encephalocele. Now to talk a little bit about prevalence of neural tube defect in a hospital setup where there are about 10,000 delivery takes place, all the neural tube defect accounts to about 9.1, and the maximum most prevalent neural tube defect is the spina bifida, which is followed by an encephaly and the encephalocele. We'll come to this slide again. What are the features of spina bifida? That is the U-shape open. The vertebra is open and it is U-shaped, and we get there is a cystic structure that is called meningocele, and when there are neural tissue inside this we call it as a myelomeningocele. Now come to the plane 1. Plane 1 is the sagittal plane. And how do we get the sagittal plane? From the cross section, as we go from the pubic symphysis upwards, as we go up, we see the spine, and then we turn right